I found an old, dilapidated oak cabinet in a barn, not my barn. It's in very poor condition, but through it all, I thought it had the potential for at least a partial restoration.
Oh, I can do that.
I hoped someone would use it again if I could clean it up and repair it. Looking at it closely, I can see the floor of the cabinet is totally missing, probably a blessing in disguise. There's obvious mold all around the drawer. It is absolutely filthy. I can't work on this until I disinfect it for my own safety. Let's consider I did all that, and if you're interested in the full video of cleanup, repairs, and design, you can find it by this title. I'll link it to the end and also below in the text so it's easy for you to watch it. For now, just know that I disinfected it, cleaned it, and got rid of the mold. I applied a new floor for the inside and a new drawer bottom as well. I'm going to bring this to a modern farmhouse style in a creamy white, but I decided to restore the gorgeous and charming old oak top. My mindset for this decision is based on the fact that it is a primitive, but not an especially rare one. It's in terrible condition and no one could use it the way it is. It needed too much reconditioning and cleaning to worry about losing any quote-unquote antique value. For this piece, my overt repair of the top is to fix those cracks between the planks. These planks appear to be a simple side-to-side glue-up. I opted to fill the cracks with pigmented wood putty because they're slender and barely noticeable, but I want the table to be clean and cleanable, and I thought that would be sufficient. Here I've tinted the putty with some umber pigment powder, and it won't take that much. While I'm at it, I use the Boston or New England method of noting an antique, in that it would be specifically a piece that is 100 years old or more. Pieces more than 10 years old but less than 100 years are considered vintage. Yes, you can still restore vintage furniture, and that's a topic for another discussion. My options from hardest to easiest ways of repairing that include A. Ripping them apart, remilling them to make them even and level, perhaps adding dowel joinery and regluing them. B. Add a slim bit of wood shard or veneer to shore up the gap. C. Putty. I opted for the putty because the gaps are very small here. I'm sanding gently with a random orbital sander with 120 grit paper. Later, I'll do some fine sanding with higher grit sandpaper very, very gently and also by hand. My sanding method will soon have its own video because I have a particular mindset when it comes to wood grain and how to get the best finishes. It's too much information for right now, but keep a watch out for that in the future. I think it'll be very helpful. And let me know if you're interested in that. Put a comment below. I'm going to take it down until it's obviously smooth to touch and enough that it looks clean. Many of these blemishes won't be removed with a gentle process such as this. I would often use shellac here as a primer. Sometimes I even tint my shellac first. But here I'm going in with a luscious oil stain. In fact, I'm mixing two stains together for a rich but translucent chocolatey brown. You will notice I rarely use gel stains because the paint effect of their opacity diminishes imperfections while also hiding the grain of the wood. I want all of that to be visible. Even though my finish would be considered rustic, I am quite particular about the color absorption. Just because it's old doesn't mean I won't be fussy about that. It's important to me that I get an even, well-saturated finish. I'll stain the top before I apply it to the end grain because the end grain picks up quickly and deeply. I consider the edge an entirely separate portion of the top. I'll spend a lot of time and care here attempting to get it to absorb evenly. Once I'm satisfied with the color absorption, I'll work on the final finishes. I want to leave its natural worn look, and I think this not only will be beautiful as only old oak can be, but it will fit that cottage farmhouse style as well. If you're interested in buying furniture or decor, you can find Owl and Dog Design in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. We also showcase our items at Renewed Life Furniture and Antiques in Lehighton, Pennsylvania. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at Owling Dog or Owling Dog Design. Our email is owlingdog@yahoo.com for more information. Owling Dog also sells items through eBay, so follow me there if you haven't already. Check through my bio if you're interested in my other YouTube sites. If you're interested in podcasts, you can catch the Flippin' Bunch live. We wish you all good and beautiful things. I'm using an inexpensive tung oil mixture here by Minwax. You can buy fancier oils, but this will do for this table. I'll give a good long soak and wipe off excess oils later. Look how lovely this sweet old cabinet looks now. What a difference. Adding a little sweat and tears, no blood this time, was just what this little piece needed. I like this rustic cottagey finish. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Would you have kept the old oak top? How would you have done this piece? Leave me your thoughts, ask a question, and thank you so much for watching.